It's your hour. It's my hour. It's our hour. It's the Power Hour.
You want to do any breathing exercises before we start?
No, I breathed.
You breathe in that sauna.
Yeah, sauna. Dude, I gotta say, in between the sauna sessions, you were talking about something. I'm not sure what. We're sitting outside. It was so cold. I just wanted to tell you to get back in the sauna so bad.
I gotta say, I think that the best time to sauna is
Wintertime.
no, summer.
Oh, fuck.
On like a brisk summer night. Or like fall's great too, or spring. Winter's tough because it's so cold.
Yeah, so here.
Like I love sauning in the winter, don't get me wrong, but
Is it different? Like, is it different than, obviously it's different than the cold, like a cold bath or something like that. But like, a cold plunge.
yeah, I don't do a whole lot of cold plunging, I'm not gonna lie.
Is it feel?
So the tub that I use is ground water from the hose, so it's probably 40 some degrees.
Yeah, but if you did that now,
It would be freezing, yeah, but
Yeah,
I
you
don't
need
do it now. So I'm not not a huge cold plunger. I just like to splash after, you're in a sauna at 200 degrees. Just feels nice to get a little wet after.
right.
Cold plunging.
It's honestly nice to be wet, like getting in and then going in the sauna. That was my favorite thing to do tonight. Was being freezing cold and soaking wet and then going in the sauna.
Your shorts kind of freeze a little bit.
Yeah, and your body, but like you dry up and then you start sweating again, then you get freezing again.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like it wakes you up and then puts you to bed all in like 10 minutes.
I know, it's crazy.
I don't know how to feel.
It's the best thing to do before bed. You're gonna sleep like a rock.
Yeah. If
You're
I ever get to sleep.
You're gonna sleep on a rock.
Yeah. It's right there.
Yeah. Got that nice.
Or in my
couch.
bedroom.
When was the last time you slept on a couch?
Dude. Recently. Like from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. this morning.
Really?
I napped on a couch.
You sleep on couches.
Yeah.
You're like a chronic couch sleeper.
Not chronic.
You slept on a couch
In
throughout the
college.
entire college career?
Yeah, I slept on a lot of I don't know, like I was kind of in college messy. And like so much room on that bed. I just threw all my stuff on it. Always kept it on.
Did you sleep on an actual couch or did you sleep on like a lounger?
Both. I would usually a couch. Usually a couch. I found myself on loungers before though. I've had some mornings, like long mornings, some like long weekends after sleeping on a lounger for like dude, we had a lounger that we got from some front yard in our apartment over in Mankato, and I got more hours than that. But, like I think 3 times. Once it made me miss like a week of practice just because of sleeping in it. I don't know what happened.
You were hurt? Your back?
Was like hurt, dude. It was like my lower, like my hips.
Yeah, I mean that can't be good for you. Just
Yeah.
snoozing on a lounger every night.
I went to the doctor. I was like, I don't know, like either you slept funny or you have Lyme's disease. I was like, okay.
I remember that.
Yeah.
When you thought you had Lyme's disease.
Yeah,
but
I
really
still
you were
like
just sleeping on a couch.
I was recliner. The recliner that was like 1962.
What an odd thing. You either have Lyme's disease or you've been sleeping on a couch.
And
That
I
doesn't
never
make a whole lot of
confirmed that
sense.
whether or not it was like it was pain everywhere. I couldn't walk for like a couple days. Like it was almost like I was permanently chafing, but I wasn't chafing. It's hard to explain. And so I told the doc, and I was like,
Doc, I've been sleeping on the couch.
well, I didn't tell her that.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong. I can't bend over. And so I missed the spike ball tournament that weekend. I was pissed. Yeah. didn't earn those beers that night.
Think about, for those listening right now, Ryan and I, this is Ryan Moffat.
Hey, what's going on?
I'll introduce you a couple minutes in now. Ryan is a pilot.
Yeah.
For
Delta.
Delta. I was gonna say the large. Don't say Delta.
Oh, yeah. The best airline in the country.
The best airline in the country, for sure. Hands down.
Some would say United is trying, nipping at our heels, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, United's not there.
No.
Delta's far superior.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to pay a couple $100 more to fly Delta, you pay the couple $100 extra.
I hope you do.
That experience is much, much better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I love it. It's good company. I don't really fly on any other airlines, so I don't know like how to experience or what the experience is on other airlines. I know that like if you fly on like Singapore Airlines, or like it's crazy nice, but like U.S. carrier, Delta's definitely sets the standard, I think, in regards to customer care and stuff. I mean, like an airline in general is it's like the toughest. It's so tough to keep your customers happy all the time. Delays and things out of your control.
Right.
So a lot of times you just hear the negative stuff, but I guess maybe the least amount of negative. Which is pretty good.
You maybe. Oh, Delta has the least amount of negative. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a good start.
So from couch sleeping to Delta.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of couch sleeping in between.
College is, what an odd thing that we do, going to college. Like, we had a great experience at college, and we met a lot of really cool people, but to get out of high school and then to go to a state school like we did, and you just get indulged in this party culture, and, like, that's what you think life is.
Basically, like, they put you in this culture, party culture or whatever. We got lucky because we played, like, we were on a team and, like, had some, like, sort of structure.
Right.
But yeah, basically, like, they throw you in it, and it's like, if you get out, then you might make it. But
once you're out, you're, like, digging yourself out of this rut that you've been
digging
for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and that's if you get out.
Because you have no idea what life is actually like.
No, and it's hard to...
You just go there.
But it's also, like, I would suggest it to do for every, like...
You would suggest it?
Yeah, like, immerse yourself. Like, I think building the relationships... Well, like, the way we did it, we were, like, forced to build relationships with so many people constantly. And, like, for me, I was from out of town. So, like, I didn't know anyone. So I think it was such a good experience for me because it made me, you know, immerse myself in a culture different than my own.
Right.
Which allowed me to build on some communication skills and you know, being comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I think that's how you say it. I
Sure.
think, yeah. I don't know what I said. But yeah, I think college in that sense. I wish it would have taught me more about other stuff, though it probably tried.
For sure tried.
But
I mean, being a pilot, you actually learned stuff.
I didn't do that much school, like flying stuff in college.
What do you get your undergrad in?
If you do it straight up aviation program, then you can do it that way. Like, you more or less graduate with an aviation degree, your commercial license, you're an instructor, you're getting your hours. It sets you up perfectly. Where I wasn't necessarily I wouldn't say best student but I wasn't. Like, I didn't show up that often. I was playing baseball. Like, our schedules conflicted a lot. Because like whenever it was good at like nice enough outside to fly, it was also nice enough outside to play. And then when it wasn't nice enough outside to fly,
it wasn't nice
to
play.
Yeah, right. So like my off days for baseball were also no fly days. Like, and then summers where you make up a lot of flying in Minnesota.
Did you get your undergrad in aviation? Or
it was a third of my major.
Yeah,
so I did
'cause you
the
did the
interdisciplinary, like special major, like the
interdisciplinary studies.
major. We get like a
It's basically
it's
three
like,
minors, right?
yeah, it's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
For me, I kind of like engineered my way into it a little bit by showing up to you remember Carrie? Well, you probably never just, I met with her once a week, our academic advisor. I was like, I'm going into my 5th year. I gotta graduate.
I have to have something here.
Right.
I've been here for a long time.
I've been throwing stuff at the wall. Like, I gotta have snuff credits. I've been taking a minor here, aviation major. So she, with some help from others, was able to, I had to basically take a full third of a health major my senior year or my 5th year.
Okay.
But
a health major.
Yeah, I was health. The health was a third of it. It was communication, aviation, and health. Were the 3. So like those classes actually were like the ones I had most fun in, because it wasn't like, it's not that I didn't. I mean, it's not that I didn't care, but it was like just like an experience.
Well, you were a little on the fence on where you wanted to.
Yeah, when I graduated,
you didn't know if you wanted to be a pilot or not.
Yeah, no.
So did you wait to get your private pilot until after?
No, I got my first license in college.
Okay.
And then it was my second and third where I was working towards it, and got really far on my instrument rating, which is the second one usually you do, and more or less finished it in a sense, but didn't, and the credit doesn't roll over. So basically, I left college with a private pilot certificate, and that's it. And then a lot of training for my instrument, but no license.
So you were like, I might just get a sales gig.
Yeah. By that time, though, when I left college, I knew I was going to fly, because it was my only option. My dad made me. I'm just joking.
Third generation pilot.
Yeah.
But you're not kidding.
No, like he.
Kind of kidding.
Kind of kidding. Because like.
He
was very smart about it. Like,
yeah, he was just
because he knew.
Dude, this is what you want to do.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Look at me.
You're just like me. You are my DNA.
Yeah, like
I am my father's
dude,
DNA.
I mean, I've told you the story, I'm sure, but I changed my major in, say, August. He eventually found out about it in like November. Because by the time I changed my major, I'm like, all right.
What'd you change?
I changed my major from aviation to the
interdisciplinary.
Okay.
Oh.
So I was going through my 5th year. You weren't there, but I was going through my 5th year, and I was taking these classes. It was like the hardest semester of my career, because I'm taking these 300 level health and communication courses. And I wasn't technically qualified for some of them. Mm-hmm. And I can't talk to my dad about it, and he helps me a lot.
Yeah.
You know, he's a really smart guy, and I wasn't able to talk to either of my parents about him.
Because he still thought
I was in aviation. Yeah. And so eventually he found out, because he's like, why aren't you ever flying? Like, I would I would go to the airport sometimes and like just sit and study in the airport. So my location's at the airport. This was like, I guess I was still technically flying a little bit at that point, but there's definitely a point later in my 5th year where I was just like, no flying.
Wow.
And in my mind, I was like, I'm not flying. Like, I'm done. And at that point, when he finally found that out, he lives in Florida, Tampa.
Yeah.
He was like, meet me at this Holiday Inn at 5 p.m. and in Mankato. And he texted me that at like 10 a.m. And he flew up that day and met me at a Holiday Inn. We actually met in the like Delta Lounge, and then we went to the Holiday Inn, and he just like sat me down, spreadsheet, little speech kind of deal, like explained to me like different reasons why he felt as though that this would be a good career, and allowed, and like kind of opened the door of like, hey, you can do it after college a little bit, like it's also another option. And I, in my mind, immediately was like, fine, I'll just do that. because I'm like, let me go.
Am I in trouble?
Yeah. I'm like 23, like don't know. So anyway, I did that, and then like within the first month, I was in Florida, and I loved it. It was just
Felt right.
Yeah, because I was playing baseball. I was goofing off with roommates and having fun, and it wasn't. I guess I just didn't really think about what I wanted to do.
Well, and that's, I mean, to my point of you go to college and you get immersed into this like party culture, and that's kind of all you're thinking about is what are you going to do on Friday or Saturday?
Yeah.
And you kind of
Thursday.
lose sight of like, what am I going to do for the rest of my life?
Yeah, absolutely. You just kind of take it for granted what you had before and like what your parents gave you.
I mean, what a godsend.
Yeah.
To come meet you and just be like, hey, dude, you're getting a little off track.
Right.
We're gonna get you back on track.
I was thankful in the moment, and obviously like now, like I couldn't like, oh God, I couldn't even imagine what I would have gotten myself into.
I mean, you would be fine in whatever you do.
I don't know. I wouldn't have been as happy.
No.
It took a while, like a year more of school, 2 more years of working, the instruction gig, which is it's not school, but it's experience.
Yeah, you're just flying all the time.
Yeah, it was a grind, but I mean, lived with Kenny out in Scottsdale.
How many hours are you logging from when you start flying to becoming a Delta pilot?
Delta. So
total hours.
Delta pilot is a little different. Your first airline pilot, your first airline gig.
Well, I'm saying including that first airline, because I know you were at a kind of like a jumper.
Regional airplane. Like, I would say now the average pilot at Delta, and as a new hire probably, is like, gosh, I'm saying this and it's going to be a complete guess, but like 4,500 hours, 5,000 hours. And that's probably...
That's a complete guess.
Yeah, maybe
Jamie,
lower.
Could you look that up?
Yeah. Amy.
We'll get one of the kids down there.
Yeah. But anywhere between the 35 to 5,500 range. But it's also skewed a little bit because we have military pilots that are hired to have less hours. Because they don't fly as much as the previous airline pilots fly. But I'd say I was hired a couple years ago, and I had less just because it was such a hiring wave. So they were kind of scooping people up. But I still had post-COVID catching up. But I still had, I think, 3,500.
When you started?
Yeah.
So you were a little less than the average.
3,000 maybe. Yeah. Yeah, 3,000. I would say 3,000 more or less on the nose.
So does that mean you're like second in command then? You're second chair.
Was that?
And then you have a captain with you?
Yeah.
Until you get to a certain amount of hours?
Sort of, but more about seniority.
Okay.
So no one at Delta, no matter how many hours you have, it could be the most experienced American Airlines pilot. He decides for some reason to go to Delta. Just not realistic, but he does. He is below me. He's the last guy on the list. There's no jumping. I become a captain before that guy. It's all seniority based.
This is however long you've been at Delta.
Yeah, it's all longevity. So that's why, go back to my dad, he was like, get your butt working.
Your dad worked his tail off to be a Delta pilot, though.
Yeah,
Didn't he sit outside of Delta?
Yeah, you remember that?
In order to get an interview or something?
Yeah, he was, he got started back in, so Delta wasn't hiring. His dad was a
Delta pilot.
Continental. Yeah.
Okay. So you're third generation pilot.
Yeah.
I thought it was third generation Delta.
No. So yeah, Pop flew Continental. He was a Marine. My dad did kind of the route I did, where he flew from airline to airline a little bit. His first airline was Continental Express, which was regional. He actually went to ValueJet, which was then AirTran, which then Southwest bought, but he was at ValueJet. Then he went to Spirit in like 94, 95. Still around though.
I can't believe it.
And then
They make you pay if you sneeze.
yeah, he buying sneezes,
Yeah.
coughs. Yeah, it's a different airline, different experience. And then the pilot job, Spirit, for example, is great.
Probably.
Yeah. They
The
just don't.
seat's probably pretty similar, right?
It's all the exact same. It's, I mean, like
It's a
they
Boeing
get the Airbus.
airplane, isn't it? Or it's an Airbus.
Yeah, but they
Is
get the
Delta all
same
Boeing?
air. No, they got a mix, Airbus and Boeing.
Okay.
Southwest is all Boeing. Alaska's all Boeing. And then American, United, and Delta all mix Boeing and Airbus.
And are you just flying 737s right now?
Yeah, everyone at all the airlines across the country fly a type of aircraft. So they're like you don't jump. Not one day, and no one in like the industry is flying a 737 one day and then an Airbus the next day. They only fly their kind of aircraft.
That's wild. That you're just flying around a 737
Yeah,
like
yeah,
weekly basis.
yeah. It's just like
It's
anything.
a big airplane.
It is.
That's a lot of people under your wing.
Yeah, but just like anything, like once you do it, like it's just kind of like work, you know. Not
Yeah.
necessarily. It's just normal. I thought like that too, even while I was flying, but it's second nature.
Even that first flight.
First flight, there's obviously hairs standing up in the back of your neck.
First flight, like on
On
a
a 737, especially just because it's got its challenges and like even relative to other jets. The 73 is probably a little more swirly, I'd say. But then again, everyone says their airplane's swirly, so
Swirly.
like I don't know, like harder to control,
Okay.
more difficult. But everyone likes to say that what they're doing is the most difficult. So. I'm not sure, but it's definite. Like the 7.3, like it definitely like goes faster. It doesn't slow down as well. Like things that. So, yes, the first flight in a 737, I was, prickly a little bit. But I was flying with my dad.
Oh.
So.
Easing the tension.
Help me, Dad. Yeah.
Just take this one.
Yeah. So I was. That was a cool opportunity. And my
That's
mom was in the
incredible.
back. Victoria was in the back. My sister was in the back.
That was your first time ever flying a 737? Was
Yeah.
when you got hired at Delta?
When I got hired at Delta and I was flying with my dad, yeah.
Wow.
And
There's no practice runs.
Oh yeah, well, not in the airplane, but in simulators.
In the simulator, which
And those
is
things
basic.
are,
I mean,
like-
those things are incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
They're like spot on, right?
Yeah, we could unbelievable. So it's so realistic. If you ever get an opportunity to get in one, I would, just because it's cool. And if you're not wearing your seatbelt in those sims, you get thrown around.
Really?
Yeah, like serious deals. I don't know how much they cost, but it's like $15-20 million per sim.
Wow.
Like Delta has a whole division, a whole like mechanic maintenance division that's just for sims.
Holy smokes.
They've got, I don't know how many they have, but each sim is on, like, there's a 737 sim. There's they've got 12 737 sims. They've got 12 Airbus sims. They've got, I don't know how many total, but they're not retroactive to each. They're only specific to one airplane.
So you don't know how to fly an Airbus?
Mm-mm. I watched the guys fly it today. I have no idea what they're doing. I mean, I know like it flies like an airplane, but like they're especially Boeing to Airbus is super different. I wouldn't be able to start a motor,
You
honestly.
wouldn't even be able to start it.
I don't think. I know.
So if you're in the
I know-
back of an Airbus, you're just flying somewhere, and they need help.
Yeah, I could help probably if someone told me, like, if I had a little bit of guidance, I could do it. But like, I really would.
Be pretty confused up there.
Yeah, I would.
Why
know.
is that? Just because they're competitors and they want to make it
Oh,
different?
yeah. No, I think they just think it's better the way they make it.
And then why wouldn't Delta just have one type of airplane that they use?
That's a good question. I think Delta probably, I think the value of having two different types of aircraft allows them to get, I think, better deals buying them. And like Airbus competes for Delta's business and then Boeing competes for Delta's business.
Probably.
diversifies their fleet, allows them to do, like, Airbus does a pretty good job of, like, fuel efficiency, whereas Boeing does maybe a better job in performance. So they can, do different routes, and still, like, see profits.
Diversify their pilots, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's like, it takes a month. I would be able to fly an Airbus in a month.
You wouldn't?
I would.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, so it's not, like, that hard. It's just that, I mean, I really wouldn't know where to start.
How many people are on the airplanes when you're up in the 100?
How many what?
People are you flying around?
The full airplane's like 100, I think 80 passengers.
And what's that speech that you're giving before you guys take off when you're on
Folks
the
from
runway?
the flight deck.
Yeah. Say you're going
Folks
from
from the cockpit.
You're going from Minneapolis to Phoenix.
Yeah. Folks
It's,
from the...
it's a little windy.
Hey, guys from the flight deck. This is... I actually don't do it. The captain does it.
And you don't do it ever.
No.
He doesn't ever give you like, hey, I'll sit this one out. You try it?
Yeah, not the welcome one. The bye one I do. Like, starter descent into Phoenix. The weather is 75 degrees and sunny.
Is that how you give it?
Yeah.
Give us the real moment.
Let's see. Folks from flight deck. We got an initial descent into Phoenix. We'll have in the ground about 25 minutes. Parking at gate Charlie 9 at C9. Weather and Phoenix temperature 75 degrees. Winds out of the west 5 miles an hour. Clear blue skies. We do appreciate you guys flying with us today. We'll see you there. Flight attendants, please prepare to cabin for our arrival. I usually mess that part up too. But you got to mix it up a little bit. I typically, like, I would start with writing like a note on my pad just to kind of like hit the points,
Yeah.
And I did that, and for the first maybe 2 months, never looked at it after I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to look at it. And every single time I blacked out, didn't look at it, looked down after I'd finished, and I was like, oh, I didn't say that, and I didn't say that. And so I was like, screw it. No one listens to it anyway, right?
I think some people probably listen
well,
to it.
no, especially if they're watching TV, because it turns the TVs off.
Yeah, 100% people are listening to
They're
it.
pissed.
It's crazy that, like, pilots, especially, I've flown with a couple different people now. I've never flown with you. I went with Kyle one time, and I went with Laramie one time. And you guys, when you're in the air, it's amazing how calm you get. Like, takeoff, landing, like, I feel like you give everybody a sense of just, like, it's all going to be good. Don't worry, this is pretty easy.
Yeah, it's probably more
is that
like...
something they teach you in flight school?
No, it's just like the kind of like mentality of the way you expect me to feel is probably... It's normal. It's not like that we're calmer than what we are right now. It's just that it's not, like I said kind of earlier, it's a job. It's kind of what we do. I do this, 50 times a month.
Right.
So it's
3,500 hours.
Right. Now probably more, like definitely more, like 4,500 for something over 4,000. So it's, done it so many times. It's definitely not mundane, but it's no big deal. It's no reason to really get excited.
So how do you become a captain?
You just get your seniority, like...
You just keep getting bumped up the list?
Yeah.
People keep leaving?
Yeah. Once enough guys leave or they get another airplane, they hire more people, so the list grows, so they need more captains to be...
Is there, like, yearly reviews or anything for pilots?
Yeah, I go next
quarterly?
week. It's like every 9 months you go to the sim.
And they just give you a test?
2 simulators. One's like a practice for everything, and then the next one's an evaluation. And it's usually like you get an emergency, you practice the emergency. One of them is like a legitimate, like, gate-to-gate flight, like, in a sim.
Like a psychedelic test? Like, make
like
sure
a drug test?
No, like, well, maybe that too. But do they do like a make sure like you haven't lost your marbles?
Oh,
or
that's
anything?
like a medical. You get your medical.
Is that every year?
Every year you get a medical.
Okay.
If you're over 40, you get 1 or 2 a year.
Because isn't there something where, like, you can't fly an airplane if you've ever done, like, psychedelics or hard drugs or anything?
Like convicted of it.
Okay.
That's like, it's in very, if it's on your record, good luck.
Yeah, you're not getting hired by Delta.
Right.
Maybe Spirit.
Yeah, and not even them, but like cargo carriers.
Okay.
Not FedEx, not the big ones either, but like there are some cargo carriers that will give you a second or third chance, but like
maybe join the military or something.
Yeah, but even them, I don't think they give you a pilot slot. That's something that the FAA and the FAA, the union, is all working on. Like, more of a, not necessarily allowing pilots to like get away with the stuff, but like being more open, because with their medical history, because they're pretty strict on what you have taken in the past.
Well, they should be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got hundreds of people that you're flying around.
Definitely. It's a thin rope to walk down, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
because like pilots, you know,
you would think they would almost drug test even more.
Yeah, they don't. They drug test. I mean, it's all random drug tests. I've seen a lot of guys get them.
Okay.
It's not a problem. It's like absolutely not a problem, because it's just it's a good job. Everyone loves what they do, and like that's one thing is like every pilot is super passionate about it.
Yeah. They're
not gonna risk it with that,
right.
You know. I haven't even seen even close to an exception. It's I don't know what they've done in their past life, per se, but I don't expect anyone of any craziness.
And even like pot.
No,
I mean, test for that, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So if you failed for pot, you'd be fired.
You're fired.
Yeah.
There's.
If they find anything.
If anything, it's a zero. I may be like talking out of my ass here. Like, there's probably gonna be fact checkers that prove me wrong, but I'm almost positive that you're.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to my guy Daniel Manzoor over in Pakistan. He's gonna edit this thing up for me. It's gonna be beautiful.
Wow, that's Dan. Is that his birth given name?
Danny Yal. Manzoor. Shout out to Danny.
I met an Indian family last week in Scottsdale.
He's not Indian. He's Pakistan.
Oh,
Pakistani.
Sorry, but I met an Indian family last week in Scottsdale.
Okay.
And it was like this. We're at the hotel gym. It's really not a cool story, but anyway, like
Indian people are amazing.
Yeah.
I love Indian people.
They
tough negotiators. Great people.
He was like working out. Brought his 2 kids, young kids, in there in the gym, which, like, it's not very common to do. And like, the one kid, there's one bench in there, and like the kid was just laying on it. I was like, "Hey, buddy, can I get in there? You done?
Can we work?
Yeah.
Can I work in?"
And like the dad like got off. He's like, "Sorry, like these guys, like, they've never been to America. We've never been to America before. Like, we don't necessarily know like the protocol. So sorry."
Oh.
So you get the hell out of here. Just joking. No, I was very nice, cordial, welcomed them, and like.
He was laying on my bench, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you something about it. No, it was good. We like.
If I'm hitting chest, you get off the bench.
I made sure I smiled. Made them think about it. Maybe they'll see me.
That's crazy. Imagine that. I mean, coming to America, just having.
I think about that all the time.
Do you know what they were doing there?
He worked it for Apple or someone. They're like American Express. He worked for someone that needed him there.
Okay.
But like, never seeing the U.S. like, and then coming here for the first time.
You see everybody and they got their heads down, looking at their phone.
Yeah. Right.
It's pretty interesting culture.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, what are they looking at? Oh, my 4-second videos. And then just get addicted day one.
Oh my gosh.
You've seen those like tribes in the Amazon. Have you seen that? Like, they did an experiment where they gave them all phones. Same thing with North Korean soldiers.
North Korean what?
Soldiers. Because you know, like, North Korea sent some soldiers over to help Russia and Ukraine. And like all of them were just. They said that they're like Russia. The Russian soldiers would be like, dude,
Come on.
I'm eating lunch, man. It's like, could you like,
Oh my gosh.
it's like being in your 25-year-old body, but being 8 or 12 or whenever you first looked at or discovered freedom.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Like, all right, I know exactly what I'm going to Google.
That is some bad stuff.
Yeah. But the thing is, like,
And
in
that's
the
crazy,
Amazon, which
that's
is
where-
weird to me, is because, like, they're all naked. Probably. Right?
I have no idea. Sure.
They don't have clothes.
They probably do.
No, they
Have
don't.
clothes.
No
Yeah,
way.
they're probably wearing Nike shirts.
Yeah. Like, Buffalo Bills Super Bowl champions.
Balenciaga.
No, they've got nothing on. They don't have rooms. We're talking people in the Amazon. This is like people in the
Right, people
wilderness.
like in the forest.
The
Yeah, I get it.
wilderness,
Yeah. When you said that, though, I was just thinking of people from that area in general. They don't wear clothes.
They don't. Maybe they wear like a satchel around like their waist, like Tarzan.
Yeah. And then they just get phones.
Then they
Look
get
at the
phones and they're just like,
First thing.
I mean, imagine the first guy. It's like the first. It's like almost like an experiment. I mean, it was an experiment, but like the first guy is like, dude, give your phone. Let me show you something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was ran rampant for a little bit. I could imagine.
Yeah.
But go back to people that are like coming to the US for the first time. Yeah, it would be pretty wild to like experience a big city.
Yeah.
You know.
Our culture's just
And then like
fast paced.
I love these stories of like someone, they're like, okay, well, you know, the FIFA World Cup's going to be in the United States, or they're going to Disney World, say. They're like, oh yeah, well, maybe tomorrow we'll go to Disneyland, see how that is. Like not realizing that
It's across the
Orlando
country.
and LA is a 29-hour drive. Like like the pure like size of the country and like how spread out the cities are.
Right.
Like go to like Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
big city.
And we'll go there and then come to Minnesota and then go to California
Yeah.
and then go to Washington.
And
like
Florida,
that's like-
Alaska,
right. Like that's going to a
Greenland
different country
pretty soon.
Every place you
Yeah,
go,
I know.
every
It's
state is different.
So many different cultures. And
Iowa's just all corn land.
yeah, no one's there.
No one's in Iowa. People don't actually live there, do they?
No, I've never seen anyone.
It's just a flyover.
Just
state.
kidding. I've seen people, but
You have? You've seen
yeah,
people
I've seen
before?
them. People there. I actually went to a basketball game full of people there.
Nice.
Yeah, Michigan State, Iowa, good game.
That's
Josh Crosby. I
exciting.
went with Josh Crosby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Shout out. Maybe he's listening.
He probably is
He's
live.
probably laughing about the Amazon people not wearing any.
There's no way they're
any
not.
Clothes.
Have you ever seen the
Getting a
pictures
hold
of
their phone for the first time.
no privacy either? It's like Jesus Christ, man.
Have I ever seen the what?
The tribe. That's the not even like the Amazon tribe, but like not even Amazon tribe. They're even more separated.
Oh, North Sentinel Island?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Amy and I talked about that a couple episodes ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Those people they got their own vibe going on.
yeah. They probably don't even want the phones.
There was a group of guys that said that they went. I think they said it was North Sentinel Island, the Nelk Boys, or they went to an undeserted
Undeserted.
island or deserted island or something with just like a couple people or whatever. But it looked like it was a setup in the video. The video looked fake.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
the people like attacked them when they came to the beach, and they were
Well,
like, "They will kill you."
there was a
But it
famous
like, I don't
person
know if
that
they'll
was
actually-
killed by people like that.
Yeah, that guy was like an explorer.
Yeah,
wasn't
but I think he was a Rockefeller.
Oh,
This is all from the JRE.
okay.
So, word of a word, but I'm pretty sure it was like a Rockefeller or something that was that was doing missions, or maybe he was just curious, and he would actually he was like a repeat visitor, and they eventually just killed him and ate him, from what I heard.
Wow. From what you heard, you just saved yourself.
Or read.
They're probably watching this.
Yeah.
If that guy comes near North Sentinel. I remember the name. I don't remember.
That was like the OG game back in the day.
I don't remember what you did in it.
You just like it's like the first game where he's like, whoa, like if I tilt my phone, it actually moves.
Kind of like the bird game too, Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
Where you
you didn't move your phone, you just tapped. But yeah, same concept. Yeah, so they're a little behind.
What do you think? Would you ever go to a place like North Sentinel Island if you had the
no.
opportunity and you went with like a explorer that was pretty, renowned and kind of knew what he was doing?
And armed?
And, well, I don't know. Can you show up there armed, or will they just murder you?
Yeah, but like
if they saw you with a gun, they'd probably. I would know assume they would see that as a threat. I bet they know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna risk that. I would go. We're gonna go to like Africa soon, but
Is that like on the calendar, or is that just like a?
It's on the calendar.
It's on the calendar.
Yeah, booked.
Where are you going?
Tanzania.
Nice.
And then the country off the coast of Tanzania, or vice versa. Tanzania might be off the coast. Oh, Zanzibar.
Okay.
So we'll do that. That's about as crazy as I'll get. Go to safari. We'll do like a day safari.
That's gotta be a spendy trip. Maybe not as a pilot. Do you fly for free even out of country?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then
Victoria is your passenger or whatever.
Yep, and she works at the Hyatt, so we get free hotels.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
You've kind of traveled all over the world throughout your life.
Yeah, we did a lot too growing up, because his dad was a pilot. So traveling's not, if it's normal, it's what we did. So it was just normal, but it's not easy. It gets stressful sometimes.
Traveling?
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
traveling, I guess, is always stressful.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of planning involved, and then there's a lot of expectation involved.
Yeah. Yeah, but we did it. It was just kind of what we did.
It's always an amazing experience. I love traveling.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Especially when you travel at lengths at a time. Shout out to ministays.com. If you're looking for a month-long rental, ministays.com is your one-stop shop.
Yeah.
A little cameo there for Ministays.
I don't think cameo's a word, but...
No, not a cameo, but a little tidbit.
Tidbit. It's a good idea.
Tidbit plays.
I need to get...
But, you travel somewhere we go to Florida 10 days every spring, and it's, incredible.
Just getting out.
Just getting there, and, you kind of feel like you're at home by day 2, 3, and then it's, kind of feels like a really, really long trip. Mm-hmm. And then you got to go home, and you're like, dang, I could definitely stay for another 3, 4, 5, forever.
Right, yeah. But, maybe go home in 5 months. Okay,
so here's a question from a guy who you grew up in the warm in Atlanta, Georgia, and then you came to Minnesota, lived here for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And now you're back in the warmth.
Yeah, it's not that warm.
Yeah, but it's warmer than here.
Yeah.
It's a lot warmer than here.
Yeah, it's hot in the summer, but winters, that's one thing that's misunderstood in Atlanta, not to cut you off, but the winters, I know they're not Minnesota winters, but they're so much different than Florida winters. Because there are days where it doesn't get out of 30, over freezing.
Yeah, but that's not that cold.
Yeah, but it's way colder than Florida.
Right.
It's super cold.
Yeah, I guess if you're used to super hot, then it's all relative, right?
But go ahead and ask.
I was just going to say, would you prefer the different seasons like Minnesota has, or would you prefer the warmth?
Well, I think Atlanta doesn't get enough credit for its seasons. It's because seasons about the winter. The difference, obviously, in the winter is there's snow here, and there's no typically snow in Georgia, though it snowed twice this year so far. But it's still fall. Still, you get the 50-degree mornings, and highs of
like
65
perfect,
is
though.
perfect.
That's
And
a
then the
hoodie
winter,
and
it's like
jeans.
20 degrees. And so you do get 4 different feeling
It just doesn't
seasons.
like get negative 100 degrees like
Right,
Minnesota.
right. So like 4 seasons extreme is here.
Yeah.
I would rather it not be like that.
Okay. You think that's because you grew up in Atlanta, or do you think that's just
For sure.
because-
I think if I grew up here, I would be fine with it. And I'm fine with it, honestly. I survived.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, like,
What would you prefer, though?
I would prefer...
Or would you prefer Florida?
Yeah.
365
if I had to pick somewhere 365, I'd probably pick where I'm at.
in Atlanta.
Yeah. If I could just go places when the weather's perfect there, I would definitely go to Florida, like, right now. Or, for the last 2 months.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a snowbird.
Yeah, who doesn't want to do that?
I don't know. Well, then why not just do it, right?
Well,
I wanted to do it this year. Amy kind of blocked it.
get her ass out of here.
What's wrong with her?
Yeah. Not gonna let you
Probably
just
wasn't the right
pick
timing.
up
It was
and
pretty last
move with
minute.
3 kids.
I just saw a nice place.
That's selfish of her.
Yeah. I don't know. We're thinking of homeschooling the kids anyways.
Yeah.
We're thinking of it. I don't know. We're kind of trying to figure out school. School
Yeah.
is a tough
Riggs
thing to
is
figure
starting
out.
here pretty soon.
School's a really tough thing to figure out. Yeah, and he's 4,
Yeah.
so he'll start school next year.
Yeah.
So we got a year and a half really to figure it out.
Yeah. What
Maybe less than
what
that.
are the options? Like public school, private
You go
school?
public school, private school, homeschool.
Those are it.
I don't know what else you would do. There is like this hockey school in Eden Prairie that we're thinking
Whoa.
about. He loves hockey. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
you were playing with him earlier tonight.
Yeah.
He walks around with his helmet on and his gloves all the time.
I would too.
It's called Breakaway Academy. And it's about as much as private school. And they get an hour of gym per day. And then they get an hour on the ice a day.
Wow.
So they get 2 hours of like physical activity, which kids need. Kids can't sit for 8 hours a day. And I'm not saying that they do in all public schools or all private schools, but I think most public schools and private schools are probably sitting for quite a bit, or they're being told to pay attention and listen, and it's very structured where this is like burning them out.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be very intriguing.
I know. I'm super intrigued.
What kind of do they have? I mean, obviously they've had former students.
I've heard mixed reviews. So my cousin actually works at Breakaway Academy, and she has said that the students that come out of there have really good academics. And then one of my neighbors just told me like a month ago that he's like, well, I heard it, when you come out of there, you're done.
Sounds like he's jealous because they're better
And I
than
was like, do you have any
hockey.
facts behind that, or are you just saying that? He's like, oh, I think someone told me that. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, so you're like kind of just loosely saying
Yeah,
that.
right. Right. He's jealous.
But my cousin said that she gave me some stat that kids were like a really high percentage were like top of their class when they moved on to high school,
Oh, really?
because it's only through
Eighth
eighth
grade.
grade or something. And then when they moved on to high school, it was like I want to say 30% or 40% were like top of their class.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe it's not that high. I could be wrong.
That's. I mean, why not?
But I mean, there is something to activity and being able to pay attention better when you have physical activity throughout a day.
It immediately keeps your brain active. I remember, like, not to toot my own horn, I swam in high school, senior year. Worst in the county.
How, in any way, shape, or form, is that tooting your own horn? Not to flex, but I was a swimmer.
Yeah, I was. I could swim real good. I know, like I
guess
said,
that
I
could be
was
a flex,
worse.
I don't know.
I was worse in the county, but we.
You were worse than the county?
Yeah, I never beat anyone.
Really?
I never beat anyone. I beat one kid and he lost his goggles mid-race. I was
just
bad.
doggy
I
battling?
just bad, dude. And yeah.
Why did you do it? Just to stay in shape?
Stay in shape, do something fun. I actually lost a bet. It's technically why I even did it, but
Technically, I just like lost fantasy
it
football.
was I loved it, but to get back to the point, 6 a.m. practice, like I remember hating it, but then loving the days at school because I was like wired. Because I exercise, like
there is something to physical activity in the morning.
Yeah, just
You have so much more energy throughout a day. I wish I could get up and go to the gym because, I mean, most days I have 2, 3 kids in my bed, or I'm in one of the kids' beds or whatever. Then you get up and you got to get them ready for school. I mean, I don't even know how I would get out the door. I could make it work. I shouldn't give excuses, but it'd just be tough. I'd be sneaking out of bed at 5 in the morning off of 2 hours of sleep. And then I don't know if you'd really be wired after that.
No, you wouldn't. It would be the opposite.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, and sleep's very important. But if I had the choice, I would wake up every morning after a full night's sleep, and first thing I would do is get a workout in.
Yeah.
I think that should almost be like company policy.
Like, dude.
Have your employees work out before they come to the office.
Yeah.
Get some sort of exercise in. So that their minds are in.
Dude, not roll over and look at your
as-
phone for an hour in your bed.
Rather than rolling out of bed and then rushing to work.
Yeah.
Like, what good does that do anyone? Then you show up to work and you're all like, you're half tired, like you half combed hair, still putting your shoes on, 2 different socks on, like
trying to ramp up your brain by lunch.
Like,
and
hop on this meeting.
And then you get lunch and you just eat, like, shovel food, and you're like tired afterwards.
Take a nap in your car for
Go take a 45-minute bathroom break.
Corporate America's changing a lot, though, I will say.
Like, in the good?
Yeah. It's adapting to the new culture that we're living in.
What is that?
Where I just don't think it says black and white. Like, where our parents' culture, the boomers, was show up at 7, actually show up at 6:55, and then leave at 5, 6 o'clock at night.
Right. There's flexibility.
A minute late, you don't leave a minute early.
There's flexibility. There's emphasis on mental health and physical health.
Yeah, and there should be, because you don't, like, think about how many boomers lost out on time with their kids growing up because they were just sucked into their job.
Yeah, funny, and it's just the rat race, as they say.
All the advice that I get, or that I see online, or advice that I get from older people is, 1, enjoy the time that you have, and 2, don't waste any of the time that you get with your kids. Which tells me that boomers probably didn't get a whole lot of time with their kids, and when they did, it was like, you get home from work at 6 o'clock, and then you got 2 hours until bedtime.
Right.
And that's 2 hours every day.
Yeah.
Out of the 16 hours that you're awake.
Yeah.
Or I think it's about 16 hours that we're awake a day, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if you
get 2 hours with your kids, your offspring.
A day.
If
you're lucky.
2 or 3.
That's if they're not doing stuff. Like school and stuff. Yeah. It's good that it's moving in that direction of. I know that we're moving away from everyone working from home. It's
definitely moving away.
Yeah, like people.
I mean, Trump just
made it
mandatory for. He said if you don't show up 5 days a week, you're fired.
Yeah, for federal workers. Like, and there's that sucks for them.
That'll move across the corporate needle too. Like,
and it's kind of already has.
Companies, Fortune 500 companies will start doing that.
Like, there's been less and less. Just like it's. I know that I witnessed people working from home during the COVID era, and there's very few of them worked well, like was good at their job if they were working from home.
Well, then if you're not good at your job, then you should do your 6-month evaluation and get fired if you're not performing.
Yeah, well, they didn't.
As simple as that. If you're not making the company money, then you should get fired.
Yeah, but that's not how it works, or how it works. Like, they would fire so many people, I'm sure, these companies. There's like a friend of mine who's like, he would always say like that he believes that 80 to 90% of the American workforce are just not good at their job.
Not good at their current role, but they're probably in the wrong spot. I think 80 to 90%.
Or they could be
probably really good at something. They're just doing the wrong thing.
Or they could be doing a better job
somewhere else. So a lot of people are just in the wrong position. I was talking to my mom about this the other day, that people just like can't let go of things like a job because it's good. It pays their bills.
It's a security blanket.
It's a security blanket, and they don't want to jump because they don't exactly know what they're good at.
Yeah.
Don't know what they're going to be good at.
Right.
So they just stay where they're at, and they just stay as either a mid-level employee or a bottom-level employee.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of stay on.
And there's no motivation to get better at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'll just put it on. There's no real incentive to get better anyway.
Well, financially,
in their
if
mind,
you're a better employee, you make more money.
But in their mind, they're probably like, I'm not going to get better.
Right.
I'm happy where I'm at.
I'm happy where I'm at. Yeah, I got my budget figured out. I got my home life figured out. That's all I kind of want to focus on.
Yeah, that's one perk is the corporate world is I don't experience it at all. Yeah. So it's.
You just show up to the airport with your briefcase and you just go right to the airplane, don't you?
Yep.
And then you land and you go to the hotel, or you get on another airplane and go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'd show up day one, fly anywhere between like 2 to like 15 or 16 flights, end up back in Atlanta on the last day, drive home, and nothing. Like, have my time off.
You don't have a manager calling you? You don't have anyone?
I don't know my boss. I don't have a boss. I mean, chief pilot, I guess, is my boss, but I don't talk to him or her.
Right, he's not sending out emails or anything?
No, if you have to speak to them, it's because you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a perk, but it's not to make it about me, but
to make it about me.
But remember
who this is about.
Yeah, don't. You've been talking too much. I just had to get you back on track.
Is there anything else you want to touch on, or should we close this thing out? I think we've probably been ripping for about an hour. Ripping. Where did that come from? What am I, a loser? Ripping. I just said that like I'm cool.
You are cool. You set the standard.
After saying that. And then you think of something like right when you're about to be done, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do that. I would make it so much better. And then you post it, it gets 20 views on YouTube.
Totally worth it. Just laying in bed, like watching as each tick goes up.
A lot more now that we got the
we never talked about
the
Taylor
Swiftie
Swift.
crew. Yeah. What do you want to talk about with Taylor Swift?
Just quickly.
I'm just
give
getting
me the summary of it.
Just getting throttled online by Swifties. So anyone that is dedicated listeners, I'd love for you to
defend me.
Have my back in the comments section.
Tell them to stop.
I thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, I'm obviously doing it.
They're rabid.
For a purpose.
I mean, they obviously like. I'm sure they look at Taylor as someone that's gotten them through life.
Probably.
And so they're willing to end yours.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of the comments.
I'm going to kill you.
The comments are, you're a nobody. Who cares what you have to say? And it's like, well, obviously you care if you're commenting on it.
Right.
Leave her alone is a common one. The crazy thing is that I wasn't getting really any engagement on my Taylor Swift stuff on Instagram, but I was getting a ton on TikTok, and it was a lot of it was hate. I had a couple people here and there agreeing with me. Mm-hmm. And then it's totally flip-flopped. And now TikTok is like totally on my side, and Instagram is just like thrashing.
Because Trump saved TikTok, so now because they're all. I
mean, there's still definitely some comments on TikTok too, but it's funny that you just post a video that says Taylor Swift. Like one of the videos that I posted just said her name.
That trap. Like it's not about Taylor Swift, but something I care about.
And are you commenting on the videos?
No, but I'm like watching it, and my heart rate probably goes up a bit. And then I have to like relax.
True. I'm trying to think of what like the funniest comment. Like just like this podcast is trash.
Yeah, yeah.
You're a nobody. Some people are like, this is amazing. Continue on this great work. And then they'll follow and they'll like a bunch of other videos or whatever. So there is a lot of supportive people out there too. And there's people that will defend me that I don't even know in the comments.
Yeah.
Or like, it's fun. I don't know. I like to stir the pot. It's good to have engagement on socials. I've been doing this podcast this will be episode, I think, 75. 74. I've never focused on my social media following.
Yeah.
Throughout the 3 or 4 years that I've been doing this.
Yeah.
And now I'm finally focusing on it. Like
Right.
I probably should have put a lot more attention to it earlier, but I was more trying to build out what the show is and figure out kind of the I don't know, the meaning of the show, which I don't even know if it has a meaning.
Yeah.
I think it does.
I mean, no.
I think it's highlighting that we're all unique and that the average Joe is cool. You just got to be willing to listen and ask the right questions.
Right. And
that.
Yeah, it's a good show. I mean, and it's going to change. Obviously, 75 is different than 1, and 150 is going to be different than 75.
Yeah, for sure. By 150,
you're going to have
a million followers.
Yeah, a million followers, and you're no longer going to be hosting it.
So that's my goal this year, is kind of to get more followers, I guess.
Yeah.
And try and expand the show and actually try and grow it. Because, I mean, we have a couple hundred people who listen to each episode, but it's nothing like that's been growing and growing and growing, right? And it's all word of mouth, which word of mouth is super slow.
How they did like 1,400.
Yeah, right. So,
but
yeah. It's good that the Swifties are helping with engagement, and I appreciate the Swifties, actually. So
all of them are, each and every one of them.
We should actually say some bad stuff about Taylor Swift right now, so I can clip it, throw it on TikTok.
You see the picture of her legs?
No.
This is not bad.
No, I didn't.
Like, she's jacked.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Someone put a really funny comment on my Instagram today about her legs. I forget. It was like her song lyric, and it was like how her legs are never, ever, ever getting back together. I didn't really understand it, but I thought it was funny.
Sounds pretty brutal.
And then he got a bunch of other Swifties that started attacking him underneath. It was quite
That's
amazing.
how you do it.
Yeah.
You get other people to distract them, and then they just start. It's like throwing French fries on a beach.
It's so funny seagulls. When someone will be like, "This podcast sucks," and then it'll have like 50 likes.
The most popular comment.
And the video will have like 5 likes.
It's really funny.
Yeah, so you got to be like very comfortable with yourself being on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, like I know everyone that's huge, or not everyone, but people that like become huge, like they tell you not to read the comments.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you.
Yeah, but it's funny right now.
Right now.
I mean, like they're all negative. Just kidding. I'm reading them because I want to see one positive thing.
Real. So if you are listening,
yeah,
even a squeeze helps.
Yeah, just like a
orange,
heart,
just an orange.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The little orange emoji. That's
orange.
A great comment under like a mean Swiftie comment or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, that's good.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. But any help is appreciated. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're not following already. Make sure you follow.
Yeah. Loved it. We should do it again sometime.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. You got a quote that you want to leave us with?
I wish you would have told
me.
You
got a little, like, anything that you live by? Any one piece of advice that you could give to the world? What would it be?
I think it's pretty simple. It'd just be nice, be kind. Things work out for nice people.
I think that's great.
Yeah, I think it's true.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're always that, the karma, whatever drives this world is always on your side.
Yeah.
Maybe not always, but more times than not.
Mm-hmm.
So put the carts away. The grocery store, pick up trash, don't litter. Pick up your dog's poop.
Yeah. Pretty like simple stuff.
Yeah. Don't park at a handicap spot if you don't have a handicap sticker. Or if you park at a handicap spot and you have a handicap sticker and you walk out of your car.
I have never seen that. But...
I saw a guy park his car. This is still my quote. Park his car. Handicap legal, but gets out, goes into the gym and runs 3 miles on the treadmill.
No way.
Yeah.
He probably has someone in his family with a handicap.
Yeah, maybe he forgot his grandma in the car. Like
his grandma was in the trunk.
it's like
baby. In her cage. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah,
Bro,
in a cage. Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.
Love you too.
Bye.